Hello, I'm Corey Pressman, and I'm here with the Exprema Talks interview series for Publishing Perspectives. We're at Digital Book World 14, and I'm walking around finding people with compelling experiments, basically, in the reading experience and tinkering with reading. And so, who am I here with right now?
I'm Andrew Brenneman. I'm the president of Finitiv.
Thank you. And Finitiv, I've spoken to Andrew on the phone before. Finitiv is one of these platforms I find really compelling. There's some neat stuff going on there in treating content like content rather than just like book content. Not treating it like it's static, but giving it the dynamic props it deserves. But before we even get into that, there's a question I've been asking everybody, and the question is, what do you consider a digital book, or what is a digital book?
A digital book is a collection of content resources that may align to varying degrees to what is found in a print book title.
Great. I like that. Very succinct and open. That's good. So tell us what you're doing with PCS Beacon.
Sure.
And why. Tell me why I'm excited about it.
Sure.
All right.
Well, Finitiv is a company devoted to solve the main problem of publishing, which is, how the heck are we going to make money? How are we going to create new kinds of value to close the gap of the revenue that was lost from print? And we have found that publishers, in many cases, have an opportunity to create new value by selling subscription services, which provide access to whole collections of their books. And together, these collections of books that are focused on specific content areas represent a critical mass of information that professionals can use for research. It's a really very different kind of value than selling a single title.
Right, so it's selling, it's like, we talk a lot about chunking and chunking content into smaller pieces, but you're actually going in another direction and thinking of these large chunks of content, huge collections of content that can be browsable and accessible.
Absolutely. In professional publishing, you find many publishers who have been devoted to that space for a long period of time, that have a very solid list and brand, and when groups of titles are put together and presented together, it can act as an information resource for professionals, where time is money, and they're not looking to buy a book per se, they're looking to answer a question.
Right, looking for content, and the book grain is a historical artifact.
That is
essentially, right?
That is correct.
Right. So what's the reading experience like for the reader? Reader opens up your app. What is it for the reader? What's the reader's experience?
Well, the application, the front end, is a publisher-branded HTML5 responsive interface.
Nice.
It is not a single title reader. It is designed from the ground up to support the workflow of the professional researcher. So it is designed around one or more collections. When you get a subscription on PCS Beacon, you have access to these ranges of books and collections. You can search across collections, all the books in a collection or all the books in multiple collections, with not full text search, complex searches, Boolean, metadata search, etc., and then open up where things are found. The interface supports opening multiple books. When we looked at researchers, we found they didn't read one book at a time, the way you find in trade fiction. They pulled 3 or 4 books off a bookshelf, and they put it in front of them on a table, and they're working with multiple works. The interface supports that.
So the interface allows you to open several titles at once and have them open.
Correct.
And you click back and forth really easily. It's not a disruptive experience.
Absolutely. We researched for about a year different approaches. Our first thought was, let's create windows.
Right.
But in a responsive HTML5 interface, we have to work on small tablets and smartphones.
Right.
That didn't work. So we ended up with having a book title bar that represents every book that's opened, and you go from book to book by clicking on that bar.
Right.
And then obviously we have the ability to annotate and save that to an annotation set that, again, spans titles. You would say, well, that's nothing new. That's just bookmarked with annotation. Yes, but typically that's associated with the title level. Right. So having an annotation set that spans titles.
So the annotation, let me go back. The annotation, does that span the titles you have open at the moment?
No.
Or it's just...
It's for you.
It's for you. So you have an annotation bucket.
Exactly. It is a bucket that maintains your annotation as a structured data object with the location, the book, the location, what you've highlighted and what you've annotated, and that whole structure can be then exported from the system with links intact, with contextual links intact. So you can use that piece of text or that annotation element within your research paper, within a memo, tying the research experience with whatever your workflow is. I can also take that and send it to you. And that link, you can click on that link. And if you are a subscriber also,
then it opens the app for you and it's there.
And if you're not a subscriber, it will invite you to subscribe.
Right, of course.
So we see content sharing among professionals to be an elegant way to have viral customer acquisition.
Right. Well put. You've said that before. I can tell. That was
Glad
really
I'm a
neat.
fan.
This is really yeah. You do. I'm really into this. Obviously, it's shared marginalia. It's based on some ethnography where you actually went out and observed how people read.
Absolutely.
And there's not enough of that going on. So you've actually built something that replicates the experience of having several books open while researching, and not only that, but it replicates the ability to have the several relevant books because you're collections-based.
Absolutely.
Approach.
And that observation, that anthropological observation is key, and
well done.
It is based on the experience that I had at the University of Chicago working with Bob Lynch, who is also Infinitive, on creating an offering around the Chicago Manual of Style online. I thought, wow, manuscript editors are an interesting bunch. I better just watch them. So I just watched how they worked with this book and how they used stickies and what they did physically, and we created an analog to that in the Chicago Manual of Style online, which was successful. So that worked then. I did the same thing here, and I think we're off to a great start.
That's great.